Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the reliability of the new Ford F-150 Lightning. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Ed Kenley Ford here in Lane, Utah for giving me some time with their Lightning. This is their demo vehicle, so if you want to come take a look at the new Lightning, definitely check them out. Link to their inventory in the description down below. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get right into the video. So this is a new video series that I've started on the channel where I'm talking about the reliability of vehicles that I review, and the Lightning obviously just got released. There are several customer deliveries that have already happened. People are out and about in the world with their Lightnings, and you know, just like any new released vehicle, there can be some quirks that have to be worked out, and that's kind of what we're going to be going over in today's video. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give you guys my opinion on the Lightning from a reliability standpoint, if I think that it is worth it or not, basically. Well, first off, the new Lightning comes with a massive amount of technology. So for example, it has this really cool automated frunk, which you guys can see, wait for it, pops open. It has a ton of storage space, and it has these power outlets inside of it. And you know, obviously this is something that people might be concerned about from a reliability standpoint, because you know, there's quite a bit. I mean, this is literally a power frunk on the front of an electric truck. But here's the thing that I will say is I've owned several Ford trucks at this point that have like the automated tailgates, which this also has. My new Raptor has the automated tailgate as well. And I can tell you, I have never had an issue with this system. And it's similar technology, right? So you guys can see this lowers down automatically, and then it raises up automatically. So I could understand that people might have concern about those two features potentially not working in the future, but you guys can see works flawlessly. I've reviewed a ton of Ford trucks. I've never had a Ford truck not have the tailgate work, and I've also reviewed, what, I think like three Lightnings at this point, maybe four. I've lost count, but every single frunk on the Lightning has worked so far, and so I don't think that's going to be a concern. Now, something else that some people have brought up is with the suspension. So this does have independent front and rear suspension, as you guys can see, and so some people are worried about, you know, how that's going to affect the truck long term, you know, in terms of the suspension holding up, you know, carrying stuff, towing stuff, all that kind of stuff. But here's the deal. First off, this truck has over almost 1,700 pounds of payload capacity. It's like 1,686 or something like that, which is just super capable. And Ford engineered this truck with the intention of it being used as a tow vehicle and a hauling vehicle. And so, yeah, I mean, you can even, like, look at this. This isn't like regular independent rear car suspension. Like, look how this is beefed up. Like, some serious stuff back there. So again, I really wouldn't have too much concern about that. And then, you know, just like other new F-150 models, this has a full digital gauge cluster, as you guys can see, and this giant infotainment screen. And yes, I was playing the jigsaw puzzle a little bit earlier for the other review. So here's the deal. Ford released this full digital gauge cluster for the 2021 model year, and there were some like quirks with this, but guess what? The cool thing about the Lightning is this is coming out as a 2022 model year, which is the second model year for the new F-150, and so Ford's had time to pretty much work out all the quirks with the gauge cluster. And so even though it looks a little bit different than the regular F-150 gauge cluster, it's pretty much the same unit. And so anything that, you know, original 2021 F-150 buyers would have had to deal with, Lightning buyers are not really going to have to worry about. Now, as for the infotainment screen, this is another thing that the Lightning benefits with from a reliability standpoint, because, and thank you Ed Kenley Ford for having so many Mustang Mach-E's. The Mustang Mach-E was released for the 2021 model year with this same infotainment screen. And so again, there were some early glitches with the screen, but Ford has had more than enough time to work everything out, because they've had it out in the Mustang Mach-E. There's like 3 of them. There's so many Mach-E's. Anyways, Ford's had some time to work everything out with this infotainment screen. Now, the only complaint I have about this screen is just the camera system with it. It's not that it's glitched out or anything, it's just that the camera view with this is a lot smaller than the camera view you get with the horizontally opposed screen that's in the regular F-150. And so, other than that, I mean, reliability in the screen, you're going to be fine, because Ford's already figured it out, again, with the Mustang Mach-E, and it's just a solid screen. And also, look at this. You can play games on the screen. I don't know, I think that's funny. And then other stuff. Same thing, this was another thing that some people were worried about originally, was the fold down shifter. But again, they've been shown to be pretty robust and pretty reliable so far. And again, Ford's had over a year to work any quirks out with this, because this is another thing that was in the regular F-150. And then you guys can see here with the whole workbench center console, this is pretty like just normal stuff. And something I like about the Lightning interior is it has this like really, especially like the dash material, it has this like durable feel to it, which I really like. And then this is just like regular lariat door panel and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's, you know, so far looking pretty good. And then as for the whole sunroof situation, the only truck that Ford ever really had issues with the sunroof, I believe, was like the Raptors sometimes. But regular F-150s don't really seem to have issues with sunroofs. And so, yeah, and I own a Raptor with a sunroof, and I've never had issues with it. So, yeah. Anyways, we're gonna turn that off, and now we're going to talk about stuff that we for sure know about with Lightning. So you guys can see this particular one has a spare tire on it. Now this is not because of any sort of factory defect. This was just because of a shipping situation with the truck. Basically the stock wheel got damaged in shipping, which happens all the time, frankly, and I'm not sure why that's still going off. Hopefully that's not popping up onto the audio too much. But anyways, that happens all the time, where sometimes some things will pop up in transport, and so that's why this one has a spare tire. But there has been a tire pressure thing with the new Lightnings where they're not reading the tire pressure properly with the truck, and so basically the PSI could be at like 30, and then the truck won't know that it's at 30, if that makes sense. And so that could cause someone to be driving down the road, have a flat tire, not realize it, and then have something happen. Ford already knows about the problem, and they've already sent out a recall notice on it, and they're already taking care of it. So like, it's a problem, but it's not at the same time, because there's already a fix for the problem, and you basically just take your Lightning into, if you have a Lightning, you take it into the dealership, get the software update, and then Lightnings that are going to be released from the factory in the future are already going to have that, what do you call it, grandfathered in, I guess is the bet. I'm probably not using the right terms, but the point that I'm trying to make is it's a non-issue at this point. I'm using the Lightning to block the beeping from the Mach-E that is going about. And yeah, so far that is literally the only like actual issue that has popped up with the Lightning from a full production standpoint. Now, from a pre-production standpoint, there were some complaints about the brakes overheating a massive amount, but Ford basically fixed that before they released the Lightning to the public. And so again, that was another thing that could have been an issue that journalists found out that is now a non-issue, basically. And then you guys can see here with the warranty on the Lightning, notice that we have an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty on the electric vehicle components, and then you get your regular 3-year, 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. And so what that means is that any issues you're going to have for the first 3 years, pretty much with the Lightning, unless you cause it, right, they're going to be covered under warranty. And I can tell you, being someone who's owned several Fords, Ford is really good at covering stuff under warranty. Unlike some other truck makers, I can tell you Ford does a really good job, because they want to make sure that customers stay loyal to their brand. And so, you know, this is one of the new electric trucks on the market that I think is actually really worth going for, because of the backing that Ford gives it. Well, the Mach-E stopped beeping because someone finally found the key, but let me just give you guys my final thoughts here on the F-150 Lightning, if it's a reliable vehicle or not, with the information that we know, and if you should actually go forward with your reservation with the Lightning. So here's the deal. First off, with the new Lightning, there hasn't been anything that's like super catastrophic compared to what you've seen with other automakers with their new EVs and especially EV trucks. And so that's a big plus. I understand the tire pressure thing. Yeah, that is a big issue, but Ford already knows about it. They're already taking care of it. The brake thing, again, that's another big issue. But again, Ford took care of that before the truck went out to customers. So yeah, fully covered, fully taken care of. So that's nothing to worry about. Really strong warranty on it. And like I said, Ford's really good at covering stuff under warranty. And so it's a manufacturer you know is going to take care of you. Ford has a ton of places to service the Lightning as well, because there's tons of Ford dealerships out there. You can't say the same thing for Tesla or Rivian or a lot of the other automakers that are either have already released a truck to the public or are going to release an electric truck to the public, and so that you have that going for it. And on top of that, Ford just builds so many F-Series trucks that they know how to build trucks, and so you're not going to have to deal with the weird production issues that you'll have to deal with other automakers that just don't build as many vehicles and frankly haven't been building vehicles for as long as what Ford has been doing. And so yeah, I think the Lightning's worth going for. If you're wanting to take the jump to a fully electric truck, I think this is the one to start out with if you don't want to have to deal with a bunch of crazy quirks and everything. If you're okay with, you know, your vehicle potentially sitting in the service department for a very long time and just dealing with lots of issues, then yeah, go for the Rivian, go for the Tesla, go for the other manufacturers that are releasing trucks. But if you want something that's not gonna be doing that all the time, then the Lightning's gonna be the one to go for. And I guess the last thing that I will mention here before we close off the video, the only other downside that I see with the Lightning that I've seen with tests on the truck is just the towing range with the Lightning. Several outlets have now tested the Lightning extensively from a towing perspective, and basically once you hook up a decent sized load to the Lightning, it loses all of its range. But guess what? The Rivian R1T does the same exact thing. Every other electric vehicle that has been towed with does the same exact thing. So this isn't a Lightning issue, this is just an electric vehicle issue. And so we just need technology with electric vehicles to improve before we can have real like electric towing rigs, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Lightning. I think that this is the truck to go for if you're going to be an early adopter for an electric truck. But obviously, you know, at this point, it's not exactly what we would consider a perfect vehicle, but it's still the best on the market right now from what I've seen and what I've reviewed. That's gonna sum things up for today's video. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to Ed Kenley Ford for giving me some time with this Lightning. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I will see all of you in that next video.